Yesterday, my twin brother Matt and I drove for DoorDash here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as well as some Uber Eats, and we drove for 9 hours. So in this video, I want to go over some of those deliveries, just kind of explain some of the decisions that we made, and of course, share with you how much we earned. Firstly, welcome to the channel. My name is Mike. This channel is dedicated to your success in this gig economy, the side hustle. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. And really the fastest way to start dominating most any food delivery app, visit yourdrivermike.com/delivery so you can learn what actually works so you can start making more money. I'm looking at some of the numbers here, and this video is going to help you out because we are going to go over both DoorDash and Uber Eats. And we're going to do that because my brother Matt and I are multi-apping. It's driving on different platforms at the same time and really just picking the best orders for you. Now, looking at some of the pay bonuses here, now this does vary based on time of day, but at least kind of midday here, there's a $2 peak pay from DoorDash. And on some of these orders, there's going to be boost pay from Uber Eats. That's Uber's bonus pay. It's going to be a multiplier, like 1.2x, 1.4x the standard pay. So now that we've gone over a little bit of the background, let's jump into an order and go over the decision-making process. This order, Howley Chinese food for $10.50 for 2.6 miles. So what's the first thing that you're going to look at when you see an order request like this? What is the first thing you're going to consider? Well, yes, it's pay, right? It's how much am I going to get paid for the order? Yes, obviously. So I guess a better question would be, what's the next best thing that you look at? Now, for me, it is always the dollars to mile ratio, how much I'm getting paid for the miles driven. But since I'm visiting here in Pittsburgh for a couple of weeks, the strategy really shifts to the main driver, that is Matt, and Matt's looking at the dollars to time ratio. So instead of solely thinking about, okay, how much am I getting paid for the miles driven, Matt's also really thinking about time. How much time is this order really going to take me? And also positioning. Positioning is so important because of orders like this. And we got this one because of, again, multi-apping. It's driving on different platforms. You're online with both at the same time, which again keeps you more busy. And if you do get a simultaneous order request, you can compare the two. So we got this order coming again back into the area. We're basically pretty close by to restaurants, so we didn't have to drive far. This order, Ramen Bar Pittsburgh, $10.11 for 3.4 miles. Now, Matt and I are really making the decision together whenever we're seeing these order requests come through, but you're going to use your own market experience when you're out there driving, if it's just you or if you have someone else with you. So let's look at our criteria here. The dollars to mile ratio, okay. How much am I getting paid for the 3.4 miles driven? It's pretty good. And then let's look at Matt's thinking, the, let's say, positioning here. It's taking us from that green dot, the pickup of course, to that red dot, the customer's location. So we want to think, is that ending destination busy? That's again, especially important in a marketplace like Pittsburgh and maybe your marketplace as well. So here's another order example. Let me know what you think about this one. This one's for PetSmart for $7.50 on the DoorDash platform for 6 miles. So would you take this order? Now, our verdict is no, we're not taking this order. And we're not taking this because it really doesn't pass, honestly, either one of our criteria tests. It's really not exceptional with the dollars to mile ratio, and it's really not exceptional with the dollars to time ratio that considers positioning. And here's what can happen if you just wait. If you're patient, if you have that criteria as far as pay in miles and positioning. This order from So Fresh, it's $9.80. It's 3.4 miles, and it's continuing to keep us in a busy zone. I want to ask you another question. What does an ideal order look like to you as far as efficiency? Well, hopefully it looks like this. This order from Hunan Bar, it's $8 for just 0.6 miles. What do I mean when I say efficiency, right? It's less miles on your vehicle. All of those miles, it doesn't matter if it's empty miles without an assignment or if it's miles with an assignment, that's just more miles, aka more expenses. So this order, in all honesty, this is really an ideal order for $8. Now our next order, this one from Zen Noodle House, $13.22 for just 2.8 miles, but there's something else I want to point out on this one. So what I want to highlight with this order is it's taken us a little bit farther away from that central zone, the University of Pittsburgh area, the Oakland area of Pittsburgh, that we're really trying to target for this shift. And this is where your market expertise is going to come into play, because it doesn't matter if you're in Pittsburgh or in any other marketplace, this strategy applies to you. And the strategy is, okay, well, if an order like this, if it pulls me out of my typical hotspot, my typical go-to spot for orders, am I familiar with that area around that ending destination? Because what you don't want to do is get into the pattern of, okay, well, yes, I know I can get probably orders from other places, but don't lock yourself in to always driving back to the same hotspot. Now, honestly, there was a good amount of orders for a 9-hour shift across 2 platforms. So instead of going over these orders, just you and I, what I'm actually going to do is challenge you with a little quiz here. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you a few of these order requests, and I'm going to ask you if you should take it or if you should decline it. So what about this order? Bengal Kebab House, $9.25 for 3.3 miles. Now, my verdict on this one, I would accept this one. Now, you may not be familiar specifically with the Pittsburgh marketplace, but at least you can look at the dollars to mile ratio, how much I'm getting paid for the miles driven. It's pretty good here for $9.25. What about this order? We're back in Oakland near the University of Pittsburgh, and this one's a stacked order. It's 2 orders on the DoorDash platform, so $14.50 for 2 pickups for 5.5 miles. My verdict on this one, now this one I would actually accept. I would definitely accept this one. It's in that University of Pittsburgh, that central Pittsburgh marketplace. Now, it's a stacked order, so 2 assignments for 1 driver, but it's really, it's at the same restaurant. Well, how about this order? This one's for Chipotle. It's $8.25 for 2.9 miles. And actually, your request has just turned into a stacked order. You just got another Chipotle assignment for an additional $8 for an additional 1.9 miles. So what do you think? Would you accept this stacked request for Chipotle? My verdict on this one, I would accept, but there was a caveat with this. Now, this one we did accept. We actually took a quick timeout after this order, but I mentioned a caveat that if you've delivered for, I don't know, maybe 100 or so deliveries, you'll probably know why. It's because it's from a Chipotle. So pickups from Chipotle can, of course, it's hit or miss. I can't say all Chipotles are good or bad, but sometimes, especially during super busy times, places like Chipotle can get pretty slammed. And that was 100% the case here. We actually had to wait 10 minutes just for this pickup. And one more for quiz time, $8.86, 2.7 miles for Tuk Tuk 98. My verdict on this one, accept. Okay, so yes, we accepted basically everything during your quiz time, but yes, these are all orders that we actually completed during this shift. Now this one is $8.86, it's 2.7 miles, another great example of a positioning order. This was after our quick timeout. We got some lunch here, and this is picking up in a pretty busy area, and it's really finishing, pushing us back into another busy area. Now, this shift was from 8:30 a.m. until 6 p.m., really 9.5 hours out there on the road. Now, there was that quick lunch break, so I would say total of about 9 active hours. So the total earnings here for both apps, let's say, so for Uber Eats, it was $123.25. And on DoorDash, we earned $78.99 for a grand total for the day of $202.24. Now, let me know down below in the comments, because I know $100 is a pretty common daily goal for earnings, or maybe $150. So this shift with $202 for 9 hours online, pretty good shift. So this pretty good shift equaled a total gross revenue per hour of $22.47. During this shift, we completed 14 deliveries on Uber Eats and 8 on DoorDash for a total of 22 deliveries. Now, based on the time on the road, that is 2.44 deliveries per hour. So for 22 deliveries, we received 21 tips. And really, Matt, knowing his marketplace, driving in Pittsburgh for a while now, kept his business miles low in that dense area here. So our business miles were just 85.7 or $2.36 payout per mile. And that gives us a tax deduction of $49.28. Hopefully this helps you learn how to multi-app, drive it on different apps at the same time, and comparing and contrasting, not only simultaneous requests, but bonuses. And at number 3, I hope this helps you understand positioning. Please don't just drive on these apps and just take everything that you can, accept, and not really worry about that ending destination, because that ending destination is just as important for your next order request. So if you got value in this video, definitely drop me a like. Consider sharing this with someone as well. And you can also click or tap the screen now for my most recent video, as well as a video recommended for you. And I'll see you in the next one.